All right, so we know the matchups. Bama versus Cincinnati. Very excited for that one. In Michigan and Georgia, right? These are two matchups which I think could be very good matchups. I think Cincinnati, I think for maybe a schematic standpoint, could match up against us, maybe even better than what Georgia did because of their secondary, right? Cincinnati secondary, it's a very good secondary that's been tested. Um, a lot of returning seniors, 30 seniors in that entire team, so tons of senior leadership. A team that I think Vegas put their line up minus 13. Could be wrong about that, but minus 13 for what we're seeing so far. So a team that's going to be extremely motivated. There's going to be a crap ton of rat poison that's gonna hit the Alabama Crimson Tide program, and it's really up to the players to try to really try to stay motivated, to put their head in the game, and to see if we can definitely take care of Cincinnati. But that's going to be a really good game. That's going to be a very interesting game. And then obviously you got Georgia and Michigan, which I think if you want to see a 1960, if you want to see what 1960s football was all about, if you want to see the closest thing to two wishbone offenses going against each other with a classic, with just tremendous defense, this is the closest thing to it. Now, obviously, both these teams don't run the wishbone. Let's be honest here; they don't run the wishbone. But this is the closest thing that's going to be to it because these are two juggernauts as far as the offense, two really good offensive lines, two very physical offensive lines, two really good defensive fronts, and two teams that could run the football at will. Now, Georgia has struggled a little bit running the football recently, right, against Alabama. They did struggle to run the football against us. But again, if there's anything that Georgia does better than anybody else in the country, it's stopping the run. They can stop the run better than anybody in the country. And fortunately for the Georgia Bulldogs, they're playing against Cade Manaka. I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm just going to call him Cade. But they're playing against Cade. They're not playing against Bryce Young, right? So they don't have to worry about the deep, explosive plays, at least to a certain extent. You don't have to really worry about that. They don't have a Jamison Williams on their roster. They don't have a John Mechie on their roster. They do have some young, talented players in the receiving core, but for the most part, Michigan, they'll try to disguise some things. They'll try to use as many trick plays as possible. They'll try to even take advantage of the man-to-man coverage, which we could see Georgia play. But this is going to be a game where if Georgia stops the run, they're absolutely going to win this game. But if Michigan can stop the run, then they'll have the advantage. So it's both teams are both predicated off the run, right? Both teams have very similar systems where if they throw the quarterback more than 30 times a game, it could get sloppy. Turnovers could happen. These are two quarterbacks that are just not at the elite status. They're more game managing quarterbacks. They're more quarterbacks that, for the most part, can take care of the football. They're quarterbacks, for the most part, that know, honestly, how to manage. They're not going to lose you any particular games, but can they win you the big shootouts? Can they be a team that if you have to go out and score 30, 40 points easily and be that guy at the quarterback position, can you be that dude? I just don't know if Stetson Bennett and Cade can be those guys. So a very interesting matchup, honestly. That is going to be a classic hard-nosed football game. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit more excited to watch that game than I am watching Alabama versus Cincinnati. But the Alabama-Cincinnati matchup is going to be very, very interesting, guys. You're talking about a team that has a very good secondary. You can make an argument they might have the best secondary in all of college football. We just lost John Mechie for the season because of a torn ACL injury. So for the most part, that Bama's going to try to work some things. They're going to try to include some players that we've never really seen. Could we see I.G. Hall? Could we see Ja'Cory Brooks? Could we see, could we see even more Trayshawn Holden? That is going to be the question for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So Cincinnati, they're going to try to game plan, right? I would not be surprised at all if they do run a lot of man. If they do try to rush with six, because they don't have the necessary pass rushers. I would say maybe as good as pass rushers that we've seen in the past that can get to the quarterback. I think Auburn had two guys that can easily rush the passer that had more than 6-7 sacks, but they still went ahead and they were extremely aggressive. I think to beat Bryce Young, to frustrate Bryce Young, to really give Bill O'Brien headaches, you have to be aggressive. You can't be conservative against the University of Alabama because they have shown that they will pick you apart. They do have a Heisman Trophy quarterback for a reason. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Desmond Riddler versus Bryce Young, right? Bama's defense versus Cincinnati's defense. Jerome Ford even right? Remember, he was Alabama's fourth string running back, and he was actually one of the leaders of that running back group. He was a vocal leader, and to now see him succeed at Cincinnati, well, first of all, it's great for the University of Alabama. It's great for his career, and hopefully he gets drafted. He gets drafted high next year for the NFL draft. But Jerome Ford is a big explosive running back that can offer Alabama problems if you let Cincinnati's offensive line dictate. Now, the one thing that I think could definitely bring Alabama's confidence level up is the fact that you played very well against Georgia's offensive line. You did the best you could, right? Georgia's offensive line is maybe top 3 in the country, if not the best in the country. And you played the best to your ability. Now, you still allowed over 100 yards against Georgia. You still average, I think, close to 5 yards a carry. But I think that that's more Georgia's offensive line than I think Alabama's talent. Because at the end of the day, Bama was able to do enough to force Stetson Bennett to throw for more than 40 times in a game. So in a way, they have done their job. So obviously, we're going to figure out what's going to happen. There's going to be more playoff predictions. There's going to be more previews talking about Bama versus Cincinnati and Georgia versus Michigan. A lot more of that stuff on the way because we got 4 weeks until these games actually happen. But I'm excited for these matchups. I'm excited to once again be right back in the dance as an Alabama fan. And again, if you're a Bearcats fan, you got to be excited. Your first playoff appearance representing the non-Group of 5 power teams. And then obviously Georgia fans, you got another crack at it. Michigan fans, it's your first opportunity at it. So good luck to all 4 teams. We'll see what happens on December 31st. More game previews, more stuff like that coming along the way to talk about these matchups. I'm just excited for this stuff to actually happen. But anyway, guys, Gen Sports, aka Gen76. I'll catch you guys later. No, I will catch you guys probably after the bowl selection show. Like once we do all the bowl selections and stuff like that, we'll go ahead and I'll do some more stuff on that. So I will catch you guys and really, really shortly. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.